In this episode, Tamara Lackey delivers part 1 of her interview with internationally renowned wedding photographer Jessica Clare. Adorama TV presents the reDefine Show with Tamara Lackey, where she talks with creatives who make it all work, bringing their best creative and business tips to you, along with fresh ideas and equipment favorites.
Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. How long have you been shooting?
I've been shooting for about 12 years. I was actually trying to figure it out the other day. More than 10, less than 15, somewhere in there.
And you started like as an assistant at a studio in
North Carolina. That's right. Yes, I started shooting when I was in college, or like about halfway through college, and I worked for 4 years as an associate and office manager for a big studio in North Carolina.
Right.
And then when I graduated, I went off on my own at that point.
Yeah. And when you went off, you moved, you changed, you started a brand. You did it really well. What do you think you did really well?
Thank you. I think that I was right on with my timing of things. I actually didn't do it right away. I stayed in North Carolina another 2 years after I went out on my own. Mm-hmm. And then when I decided to move to California, it was right when like blogs and things like that were starting to get a little more popular, and also when those wedding chat boards on the Knot and other like boards like that were.
What year are we in?
That was 2004.
2004, okay.
Okay, we're starting to get more popular also.
Yeah.
So it was kind of easy for me to make the move at that point because the internet had gotten so big that I was kind of pretending I was living in California for a good year before I actually moved there in 2005.
Just like blue screen?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't tell. I mean, anybody online would have thought I was already there. So I started booking there way before I actually moved.
Yeah, smart. And you would just fly out?
Well, I moved to California and then I started booking there, but I was actually flying back to North Carolina every week or every other week for about a year because I didn't stop booking there either.
Wow.
So I just kind of like double coasting
you were
it
like
for a while.
Invisible online, like where is she? I don't know.
Like, is she here? Is she there?
Yeah.
Where's she going?
All right, and so by the time you got there, you had a business going.
Yeah, because I had taken that year to kind of shoot in both places. I didn't turn down any job anywhere, even if it meant that on Thursday and Friday I would be shooting in California, and then I would fly, I'd take a red eye on Friday night and be shooting in North Carolina on Saturday. I turned nothing down.
Why?
Because I, first of all, needed to pay my bills, and I had gone from North Carolina where I was paying $400 a month, and to California where I was paying $1,000 a month with no business.
Right.
So I had to pay the bills. So I was pretty much willing to do what that meant, even if it meant, sucking up the cost of paying for the flights to get where I needed to get.
Did you find that it accelerated your I got this because you're shooting so much now?
Yeah, and actually the year that I moved to California, I also second shot 20 weddings just to learn my way around the market and to like get familiar with the venues and other vendors and other kind of factors at play in the wedding scene there, because it's not just about photography.
Right.
So I wasn't promoting my own business working for other people, but I was at least able to say if I got an inquiry for the montage, oh yes, I have shot there before, I've been there before.
Yeah.
So that way I wouldn't feel like I just dropped in from North Carolina and didn't know anything about anything.
And you were pretty savvy when you say it was right when the blogs were going. You were really savvy quickly about the look and feel of your site, your brand, your image, your awareness of SEO. How did that come to you? You educated yourself? You got great advice?
Well, I did get some good advice. Gary Fong had just started a blog, and he's like, blogging is going to be great. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And at the time, I wasn't blogging anything interesting. I was just blogging personal things, whatever I was doing, just here and there, sporadically.
Like what?
Like, I took a trip to Washington, D.C. with friends, and I blogged a picture of me on the escalator with a couple of my friends.
Right.
I mean, nothing that anybody would find really interesting. But then I started posting just like a little sneak peek from every wedding that I would shoot, and people were more interested in that. And it turned out to be not just brides, but photographers as well. So I was like, oh, look at that. People are actually reading this. And so that gave me the encouragement to continue on with it. And so that's really the reason that I kept it up, because people were going to notice if I didn't. Otherwise, I probably would have let it die.
Because you have a very active blog, a lot of comments, a lot of interaction. How much time a week do you spend on it?
I spend a lot of time on it.
Like roughly, do you have a rough idea?
Let me think. If I blog twice a week, it probably takes me a good 4 or 5 hours to do that.
Yeah.
If I blog 3 times a week, it goes up a lot because then I'm actually having to think of and produce additional content.
Right.
So I would say like 10, 12, maybe 15 hours a week doing just blogging. I think the thing that takes the most time is me picking the images that I want to go on there and want to show. Because I'm always trying to find a balance between showing the things that I want to show because I love showing them, and also showing things that I know might get pinned on Pinterest, or that the client might be like, I gotta send my friends to see that. So I only want to post things that I love, but I also want to post things that my clients are gonna love.
Right.
So that way I get the more comments and more feedback and more traffic.
And you show a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
I show about 50 to 100 images from any wedding.
For each post. And so where did you come up with that? Was that just like give them more variety from which to choose?
No, I go through the wedding and I just go through and I pick the ones that I love. And it's always between 50 and 100. And then I cut out anything that's a duplicate, and that knocks down like probably another 20. And then I just work with the rest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you just became a new mom.
I did,
like
yes.
6 months ago?
6 months, he's 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you finding, like, I'm in shooting, I'm successful, I've got a career, I'm well known, and now I'm a mom. Like, how are you finding that transition?
Really, really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. It's getting better now.
Amen.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah.
But it is getting a lot better.
Yeah.
I think for a while I sort of tried to go on like nothing happened.
Right. And that, especially when you have a successful career under your belt, that's what most people do.
Yeah.
And then, so you went on like nothing's happening, and you're what, not sleeping?
Well, I had the baby August 2nd. I had 4 weddings in August also.
Wow.
Like I was shooting a week and a half, 2 weeks after my C-section.
Holy crap.
So yes.
Tell me, had someone else lift the bags?
I did not carry the bags.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought 2 other people with me to that wedding, another full
Did you
shooter.
at all consider having somebody else do it?
No. I was going to that wedding in a wheelchair. I was definitely going.
Why?
Well, first of all, I don't want to give back that money.
Yeah.
And second of all, the baby was late. This is his fault. Blame it on the kids, right? The baby was 2 weeks late, so I didn't anticipate him being late. I didn't anticipate a C-section. And by the time the wedding actually came around, I was okay. Like I could deal with it for 8 hours. Like my philosophy on shooting a wedding is no matter what's going on, no matter how sick I am, I can get past anything for 8 hours. Right. And then, it might take me, that time, it took me like a good week to recover. But for 8 hours, there's so much adrenaline and good meds that they give you when you've had a major surgery that, I was just going to make it work.
Did your photography improve on drugs?
What's that?
Was your photography like better or worse, or you're just
I actually think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it looks like any other wedding that I've shot. I think I did a good job with it.
Yeah. It's like playing pool. If you have like a glass of wine, your game gets better.
Yeah.
If you got like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Towards the end of the night, like I couldn't like squat down as well and that kind of thing. So I did kind of let my second shooter take on a little bit more of that type of shooting. But it was okay. I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
So, film. Tell me, because I know you've been doing a lot of flirting with film.
I dabble a little.
What exactly? How would you define your flirtation, your dabbling, your dabblement?
Well, we just started dating like about a year ago. I don't sell film to my clients. Like my clients don't pay extra for film.
Right.
I shoot it if it's good. Like if it's beautiful light and detail and people aren't moving too much and I have time to sit there and think about it. Yeah. I enjoy shooting film because those shots are generally my favorites when I get them back.
Why are they your favorite?
Well, I think part of it is because there's so much thought that goes into it and there's so much expense that goes into shooting film that I'm certainly not like rapid firing it or just shooting anything.
Yeah.
So I'm only shooting stuff with film if it looks really, really good, clean, out of the camera. I mean, I wouldn't shoot anything with film that I didn't know was going to look good. Right. So when I get it back, it all looks good because I pick and choose very carefully what I'm shooting with it. And then I just kind of put it in with my gallery mixed in with the rest of the stuff. So I don't even necessarily talk about it with my clients or promote it. I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah. It's funny because I find that that's one of my major hurdles that I've come to recognize, that if I work really hard for a shoot, like say for instance I'm photographing kids and someone's having a complete meltdown, a tantrum, and I get some amazing shots of them. And I know that was like a millisecond that I was barely able to grab. Right. Like if I lay that picture down next to a photograph of like a child model, that everything is amazing in it. The one might be technically better and more eye-catching, but I know how much I worked for that other one, and I really I'm like, this is so good. That was fine, Yeah. Like, and then when it comes to portfolio time, you have to figure out how to remove yourself to be able to see them better.
It's true. It's true.
Stay tuned for part 2, where Tamara continues her discussion with internationally renowned wedding photographer Jessica Clare.
Adorama TV is brought to you by Adorama, your best source for the equipment and knowledge you need. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. Place your order by 7 p.m. and it ships the same day. Plus, the next time you're in New York City, be sure to visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. Check out the Adorama Rental Company for professional cameras, lighting, computers, and more. We'll help you make the best selection to match your needs while giving you the knowledge to achieve the best outcome from your rental. Adorama is your complete solution for equipment, printing, training, and more. Adorama, more than a camera store.